Today I'm going to talk on estimation, and estimation is the key to the success of a project. Typically, as a software engineer or a software manager has this problem. He estimates and finds out that the particular problem can be solved or constructed or delivered in 10 units of time. But the customer wants it in 6 units of time. Is it acceptable? No. So what do we do? If you have decomposed our modules properly and if you have prioritized the work, then you know which in customer's opinion are the most important modules and with how much time they will take. Do they take 6 units of time? What are the modules which we can complete in 6 units of time? That we can plan and give. That we can plan and give. Okay? Normally to this, the customer also does not object, but if you do not estimate your plan, if you do not estimate your project well, then you cannot do all this. So project estimation is the key, and today I am going to briefly speak on the estimation overview. The single most important task of a project, setting realistic expectations. Why? Because unrealistic expectations based on inaccurate estimates are the single largest cause of software failure. You see, software failures are, majority of the projects are closed. Majority of the projects are closed and majority of the projects are closed prematurely. The organization incurs loss. Why? Because of improper estimation. Or having unrealistic expectations. Just because the customer wants 6 units of time, we tell the customer, okay sir, we'll develop it in 6 units of time. But can you develop it in 6 units of time? It's simply not feasible. Simply not possible. So you have to decide on that. So setting realistic expectations is the key, and the contract between you and the customer will be successful only if you can satisfy this problem. Program development in large software systems normally experience 200 to 300% cost overruns and 100% schedule slip. 15% of large projects deliver nothing. Key reasons: poor management and inaccurate estimations of development cost and schedule. If not meeting schedules, developers often pay the price. So, see, we have to make sure that we maintain proper estimates and do it on a regular basis. and our main target is to satisfy the customer. That is our main task. Otherwise we won't get money, and money is the key. So we have to make sure that the project is complete and we get the profit we desire. That can be possible only when proper estimation is done. If not meeting schedule, developers often pay the price. Generally, the customer will look for somebody else, and fundamental estimation questions: how much effort is required to complete an activity? How much calendar time is needed to complete an activity? What is the total cost of an activity? So there are four things. We have to estimate the amount of effort, the time required in months, and the total cost of an activity, and the human resources, the resources we need for the project. These all we should estimate as part of our project. Software cost estimations. Hardware and software costs. Travel and training costs. Effort costs, dominant factor in most projects. That is the salaries and social and insurance costs. Effort costs must take overheads into account. Costs of building, heating and lighting. Costs of networking and communications. Costs of shared facilities. Costing and pricing. Estimates are made to discover the cost to the developer of producing a software system. There is not a simple relationship between the development cost and the price charged to the customer. Broader organizational, economic, political and business considerations influence the price charged. Just 1 second. Generally, what is the nature of estimates? The estimates are made in man months or person months. Possibly 1 man month is 1 to 2 man hours of direct charge labor or something like that. Schedule in months. Right? How much time it requires in months to complete from requirements to acceptance. Well managed program. I'll close my talk with these 4 topics. 4 common estimation models. This is subjective way of estimating. Expert judgment, analogy, Parkinson's law, price to win. One or more experts in both software development and application domain use their experience to predict One or more experts in both software development and application domain use their experience to predict software costs. Process iterates until some consensus is reached. Generally, if you have an expert who knows what who has experience in this particular type of projects and who can tell how much resources, cost, time and effort is required to complete these type of projects, then see, it is very useful. You may be close to reality. He or she may be close to reality. Advantages: relatively cheap estimation method can be accurate if experts have direct experience of similar systems. They need not be accurate, but if they are close to reality, that is sufficient. Disadvantages: very inaccurate if there are no experts. This method should not be used if they are very inaccurate. Estimation by analogy. The cost of a project is computed by comparing the project to a similar project in the same application domain. Advantages: may be accurate if project data available and people tools the same. Disadvantages: impossible if no comparable project has been tackled. Needs systematically maintained cost database. Parkinson's law. The project costs whatever resources are available. Advantages: no overspend. System is usually unfinished. Cost pricing to win. The project costs whatever the customer has to spend on it. If you agree to the customer's deal, then you get the contract, but because you don't have a proper estimate, you don't know how close it is to reality, and you don't know whether the project you can complete or not. How do you know what customer has? Generally, customers are non-technical and they have a problem and they want it to be solved using software systems. But is it possible? Only a good strategy if you are willing to take a serious loss to get a first customer, or if delivery of a radically reduced product is a real option. Thank you.